Tamil filmdom's reigning superstar Vijay has grabbed the limelight by delivering an impactful debut speech at his party's rally in Vikravandi. Will his Tamilaga Vettri Kazhagam succeed in altering the bipolar nature of Tamil Nadu politics? Vanakkam, this is T. Suresh Kumar. Thank you for joining me in this episode of the Hindu Focus Tamil Nadu. Over the past few days, the talk in Tamil Nadu's political circles has centered around Vijay's debut speech and the kind of impact it has had. This was one rally that was attended by several tens and thousands of party supporters and cadres. In fact, in recent years, no other political party launch had seen the kind of crowd that Vijay had attracted. So clearly, Tamil Nadu politics has got back a crowd puller after the deaths of Karunanidhi and Jayalalithaa. So that is a positive for Vijay. I would say that at least 50% of the crowd that turned out at the rally was an organic crowd, and it comprised a significant section of youth and in good measure women as well. Now let's take a look at the speech he made. This was the rally where Vijay chose to explain where his party stands in terms of its ideologies. 8 months ago, when he mooted the idea of floating the TVK, he had made it clear that his politics would be against corruption and divisiveness. He has stuck to that script. In his speech, which appeared to be more scripted and well practiced and delivered in a very high powerful tone, he explained that his party will be ideologically opposed to sectarian forces. At the same time, the party's political enemy, according to him, will be a family that has been ruling Tamil Nadu in the name of Dravida model, invoking the names of Periyar and Anna, but at the same time looting the state. He did not name any political party. In fact, he explained that he does not want to name anybody or indulge in name calling. But he left no one in doubt that he was ideologically opposed to the BJP and politically opposed to the ruling DMK in Tamil Nadu. He remained silent about the AIADMK, a political party which has cumulatively ruled Tamil Nadu for the longest period. At the same time, one particular aspect stood out in his rally, because otherwise he largely focused on issues such as opposition to the NEET examination, the abolition of the post of governor, sticking to the two-language formula that Tamil Nadu has successfully adopted, seeking a caste census. Now, all these are time-tested political tools in Tamil Nadu, some of them dating back to the Justice Party days. So he has stuck to the Dravidian formula in that sense by taking on an anti-BJP position, but at the same time sticking to the issues that have been dear to the state in terms of state autonomy, in terms of federal principles. But one thing, as I said, that stood out in his speech was his offer to share power with allies should his party be voted to power in 2026 assembly elections. That's a very striking feature, because in Tamil Nadu, sharing of power has been a very sensitive topic. In fact, both the Dravidian parties, be it the AIADMK or the DMK, are always shy of even encouraging allies to speak in terms of seeking a share in power. We saw that in 2006 when Karunanidhi formed a minority government, because the DMK was not even able to cross the 3-digit figure in that elections. Yet, when Congress leader EVK Ilangovan spoke about a share in power, he ensured that the AICC high command pulled up Ilangovan, and eventually Ilangovan met Karunanidhi and apologized, or made up with Karunanidhi for that matter. But now Vijay has opened up the possibility of smaller parties and other political parties looking up to him in the aspiration of a share in power. But when Vijay said that he is prepared for a share in power, he was speaking from a position of strength. He was assuming that today he is in a position where in the very maiden elections, his party will be voted to power. In fact, he cited the examples of MGR's AIADMK and NT Ramarau's Telugu Desam. But those two are political parties from a different era, I would say. MGR succeeded in 1977 not on account of heading up new political party alone, but also on account of his experience, his political experience in the DMK, and the fact that he had a well-oiled machinery that drew strength from the DMK days. NTR's was an exception. That remains the only political party launched by a film actor which came to power within 1 year of formation. But that era is over, as you could see by other political parties launched by actors in Tamil Nadu and in Andhra Pradesh, where they not succeeded in capturing power on their own. So that's the difference that we need to look at. But what his speech has done is, it has certainly posed a challenge to DMK. The DMK, as we all know, heads a very successful alliance, an alliance that has lasted more than 7 years. They have faced the 2019 parliamentary elections, the 2021 assembly elections, and the 2024 parliamentary elections together. So it's a very strong, cohesive alliance. But of late, there have been talks among the allies of the DMK for a share in power. Primarily, it has been driven by the VCK's Deputy Secretary Adav Arjuna, as we saw in one of our videos. Now, Vijay's offer of a share in power will make it difficult for the DMK to play hardball when it comes to apportioning seats for the 2026 assembly elections. In fact, the DMK itself had conceded some space to its allies in 2024 and 2021 compared to 2019. In fact, this Lok Sabha elections, the DMK had allowed its allies, including the MDMK, to contest on their own symbol. It was not able to play hardball with them. So when it comes to the question of seat sharing for 2026, the DMK will find it hard to convince the allies to accept for lesser number of seats. In the last elections in the assembly, most of its allies were offered just 6 seats each. The Congress was given 25. Now it's unlikely that they will accept these many seats, and they will certainly pitch for higher seats. How is the DMK going to tackle to that? That will be their first challenge. The next challenge for the DMK would be to attract the youth. Of course, the party now has Udayanidhi Stalin. It's projected him as the youthful face of the party. But in comparison with Vijay, who can attract thousands and thousands of youth, Udayanidhi will face a challenge because he is not a mass hero unlike Vijay. So that is one difference that the DMK will face, and it needs to prepare itself. In fact, the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has already laid the ground for preparatory work for the next elections. He has asked his cadres to work to ensure a win in at least 200 seats for the DMK and its allies. For the AIADMK, the entry of Vijay with such a large crowd would mean that some of its cadres could be drawn to a charismatic Vijay as compared to Edappadi Palaniswamy, who heads the party now. In fact, the very fact that Vijay remains silent without attacking the AIADMK shows that he somewhere wants to tap into that soft AIADMK vote, a vote bank that went behind charismatic leaders like MGR and Jayalalithaa. So perhaps he wants to tap into that space. Now, what has Tamil Nadu's politics in the last 50 plus years shown us, from at least from 1977, I would say? Because 1977 was when the Dravidian parties came to dominate the political landscape, completely sidelining the national parties. From 1977 to 2021, if you look at the votes polled by the Dravidian parties in the assembly elections, you will find that except on 2 occasions, the 2 parties, that is the DMK and the AIADMK, have cumulatively polled more than 60% of the vote share. There were exceptions in 1977 when the AIDMK and DMK faced off, and there were powerful players like the Congress. Subsequently, in 2006, when Vijay had entered the electoral scene, the vote share of the DMK and the AIDMK combined fell below 60%. These were the only two occasions, but otherwise, the DMK and the AIDMK's organization structure remains very powerful. Of course, in recent times, the AIDMK has lost its vote share, largely on account of its internal differences, splits, and factionalism within the party and the absence of a very powerful leader. In fact, a survey by the Lokniti CSTS showed that at least 55% of the respondents in Tamil Nadu favored an alternative to the two Dravidian parties. But as I said, Vijay has positioned himself as an opponent of the DMK, but he has remained quiet on the AIDMK. So he is not positioning himself as the alternative to the AIDMK and the DMK, but taking on the DMK alone. His entry also has impact for political parties like the BJP, which was slowly gaining traction in Tamil Nadu under the leadership of Annamalai in the state, and the PMK, whose leader Anbumani aspires himself as a chief ministerial candidate in the future. Now, these parties are also going to be impacted by the entry of Vijay, because whenever a new player comes, the neutral voters tend to shift towards him. We saw that happening in the case of Kamal Haasan also, especially where the urban voters favored his Makkal Neethi Mayam. Compared to Kamal Haasan's Makkal Neethi Mayam, because he is the last actor who floated a party in Tamil Nadu before Vijay. If you notice, the traction for Vijay has been much more than for Kamal Haasan. Kamal Haasan, of course, today he has aligned himself with the DMK-led alliance, and therefore Vijay has a lot of possibilities to make an impact. But will he capture power in 2 years? That is very unlikely. Perhaps he understands this limitation, and that is why he made this offer of a share in power. But also Vijay must realize that the crowds alone don't mean everything in electoral politics. We have seen crowds going after actors, going after leaders. AMMK leader T.T. Vidyanathan is a classic example. We have seen the kind of crowd that he got in Madurai at its first political conference. But in terms of electoral success, it's been very limited for him. So therefore, the crowds alone don't mean everything. Vijay's performance as a politician in the coming months will be under watch. His position on issues that concern the people, what kind of stand is he going to take? He is yet to meet the media for that matter. He has not had a single press conference after the launch of his political party, which itself was made on the platform X and not a announcement before the media. So it will depend on how he interacts with the media, how he explains his position on different issues, and whether he is going to take up active politics in terms of hitting the ground, not just for campaigning, but fighting for the people's issues. All these things will matter. 2 years is an adequate time for him to prepare himself. If he is practical, he will ideally look at the Pawan Kalyan model and take forward his political party. But if he believes that by delivering a well-rehearsed speech alone he can make an impact, then he would be mistaken. We will see that in the coming months. I shall be meeting you in other videos, possibly on Vijay himself. Until then, this is D. Suresh Kumar signing off. Thank you.